we're going to make a new project that is not built in microgame. So we're going to make sort of a blank 3D project, and then we'll learn how to import assets so that they work with the Create with Code project. So the Create with Code isn't going to be nearly as easy as the microgame. We just don't just click on a little something that says Create with Code. We have to import some packages first. So let's start with the way I always start, which is Unity Learn. So we'll start with Unity Learn, and I'm going to make sure I'm logged in. And you might see a bunch of stuff pop up on my end talking about progress in my course or something like that, if this decides to load. So there's a few different ways to get to the Create with Code. It's a little different than it was. It's not quite as easy to get to as it used to be. You'll see here I have a junior programmer, Create with Code 1. That would be one of the ways to do this. If you look up here in Pathways, you'll see there's this sort of links you can go to that are going to walk you through what you need to do to become an expert Unity Essentials or junior programmer. So that's, I'd say, a good way for the students to figure out where everything is. Click on the junior programmer. You can also get to it through courses, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. For some reason my internet's running a little slow today. And you'll see a couple missions here. And that first one is what we want to deal with. So we want to deal with sort of this first mission, which is Junior Programmer Create with Code 1. Now, the naming here is a little weird. This is Create with Code 1, but it's really Create with Code. It consists of a bunch of different units. So they've recently separated this into two parts. So this is sort of the start of everything that is in our booklet. Honestly, if you were to just get through this stuff in the week, that would be really nice. So you may be able to get a little further on. You'll see that stuff in Create with Code 2. But we're going to treat this like we're creating a project for the very first time. So we're going to go to the very first unit, Unit 1. Okay, and you're going to see a little link here in our introduction. So actually, I think it's in 1.1. Let's find out. So you'll see right here, prototype1 starter files.zip. So this is what we're going to download and use for our first project. So go ahead and click on this. And I'm just going to let it download on my desktop. And you'll see it's downloaded pretty quick there. So the idea is this contains all the files we need for this player control. Now this should cover Unit 1 all the way 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. It will probably not cover the challenge. The challenge, go ahead and look, should have its own. So you'll see it has its own starter files. But the process for all of these is exactly the same. They're going to start a unit. They're going to download the starter files. They're going to create a project. They're going to import those files. So let's go ahead and do that. So now that we have what we need downloaded, we're going to create a new project. So this over here in the Unity Hub, new project, we want a 3D project. Nothing else, no fancy anything down here, just a regular old 3D core project. We're going to give it a name, and again, I would be descriptive here, especially since everybody's working on the same thing. Have them use their name, and I'm just going to call it Unit 1. And then we're going to create the project. Just like before, this is going to take a while to actually create. I'm going to, just like before, stick it in my Unity folder, not in my OneDrive. Again, this shouldn't matter for the students. It should be all perfectly fine for them. Okay, now I'm going to pause the video while this creates. It is going to take a little while, then I'll show you how to import the assets. And the Unity project is up and ready to go. So we are ready to import those assets that we downloaded before. So all we're going to do is go and download them, or go and import them. So if you look over here, you're going to have assets. You're going to have import new asset. So what we're going to do is import a new asset, and then I'm going to just go find those starter files. So See, I don't actually remember where I put that. I think I put it right here. So we're going to grab that zip and we're going to import. Actually, I forgot. We have to unzip it first. So the easiest way to do that is right click and go to extract all. And then you'll see it'll extract, hopefully, right there. There we go. And now we'll click on the folder and import. Oh, it looks like that did not work. Let's figure out why it didn't work. So perhaps that looks pretty good. So let's try that again. Now sometimes, there you go, you'll see I can drag it into here. Let's try that one more time though. So we're going to do assets, we're going to import, my bad. We're not supposed to import a new asset, we're supposed to import a package. Sorry about that. And we'll go ahead and grab that. And there you go. You'll see import Unity package. You'll see everything over here. You can ignore the scene for now. And you'll see it imports all of our stuff. Now, the hard part here is when we create a project, we get this sample scene that has nothing in it. When we imported this package, we have a scene that we want to start with. So we want this prototype 1 scene to be here. So what we're going to do is drag it over, and you'll see we have a scene that's built in. Now the problem is we have 2 scenes, which is okay. You can actually have 2 scenes, but we don't want this old one because that really has nothing in it. Now you can't delete it until I replace it. So once you've moved this prototype 1 in, now I can just right click and remove this scene. Okay, and now if you give it a run, not much is going to happen. But you'll see you got this road here, mountains in the background, and it's ready to go through all of those tutorials.